So I'm on the road heading up to Swanton, Ohio to pick up our fifth wheel that we're renting for our trip to Disney. This is the first time I've towed a fifth wheel. Got a brand new B&W companion hitch, 20,000 pound hitch. And while this fifth wheel is 42 foot long and my horse trailer is about 33 feet, when I measured from the gooseneck hitch to the first axle on my horse trailer and then the kingpin to the first axle on the fifth wheel, the distances are almost the same. So as far as turning radiuses, it shouldn't be that much different for me, even though it's a much larger trailer. The reason why the axles are in different positions is a horse trailer, the axles are always usually centered underneath the horse compartment because that's where the majority of the weight is. Fifth wheel and horse travel trailers, the axles are about a third of the way towards the front from the back of the trailer. That's because the weight on those are a little more evenly distributed from the front to the back. We got this trailer, I should say I rented this trailer, on a program called RV Share, rvshare.com. And this is by no means an advertisement for RV Share. I don't get anything from it. I'm not looking for anything. For all 10 of you out there that are watching this. And RV Share is actually kind of like an Airbnb in the sense that people that can take their personal trailers and offer them for rent. And it's pretty convenient because the insurance and everything is handled right through the RV Share, so the trailer is covered once you pick it up until you drop it off again. I know there's a deductible there, but it is not bad. They have their daily and weekly rates posted on each individual's profile for their particular trailer, and just find the one you want. We did this in 2018. We took a trailer down to Disney. I think it was a 34-foot bumper pool. I mean, it was definitely a bumper pool, but I think it was 34 foot. It worked out great. We could take our two little dogs with us, which helped us quite a bit. I seemed to rest much better in the trailer than in the resorts. Not to take anything away from the resorts. The resorts are gorgeous. But if you need some place to just kind of relax and kick back and feel a little more homey, an RV sure is nice. Disney's campground is a darn good campground. Once at the owner's house, we went over the trailer from front to back, inside and out. The owner was very generous with his time, covering everything I would need to know from setup to teardown. Renting during an Ohio winter made for some unique complications. The last thing I wanted to do was bring back a trailer with busted water lines. I'd been up to see the trailer once before in the daylight, so most of this was review, but it was necessary because there is a lot involved with a trailer this big and with this many features. After answering all of my questions, and after a quick safety check, it was time to hit the road. Unfortunately, the owner and I's schedules necessitated picking the trailer up after dark. Not optimal for the first tow, but I was confident there wouldn't be any surprises. Just took it slow with wide turns. Of note, the Easy Pass from the Ohio Turnpike also worked on the Florida Turnpike, so that made the tolls a little easier to deal with. The trailer towed beautifully right off the bat. GVW for the trailer is 16,000 pounds, but the F450 barely took notice. Whether towing at 35 miles per hour in town or 70 on the turnpike, truck and trailer performed great. I had literally got these cheap action cameras and my new GoPro a day before I picked up the trailer, so I did not have an opportunity to really set it up for night shooting. We had a couple of days to pack the trailer. Then at 4 a.m. sharp, the day after Thanksgiving, we hit the road for the Magic Bubble. Was I nuts for traveling on Black Friday? Bah, no worries at all. Getting on the road that early got us through Atlanta before the evening rush hour. We overnighted at a KOA in Forsyth, Georgia, and covered the last 6 hours of the trip on Saturday. The campsites at Fort Wilderness are located in the Magic Kingdom Resort area. Earlier in the day, Disney had texted us what our campsite number was, so check-in was a breeze. We were in the 900 loop, which is right across from the Meadows Trading Post. There was plenty of room to be able to maneuver the trailer onto the pad, and in no time we were set up. Well, here we are at our campsite in Fort Wilderness at Disney. We're in the 900 loop, site number 915, and I gotta tell you, it is a primo spot. We're kind of on the edge farthest away from the shower house and the bus stop, but we don't really use the bus stop because we have the club car, the golf cart. Nice thing about the premium spots, they're a little more expensive, but if you've got a large rig, like this one is 42 foot, it's definitely nice to have the extra room. As you can see, we've got lots of space on this pad. And as you can also see, our view is just spectacular. I mean, you would not know you're in the middle of one of the busiest tourist attractions in Florida, or the United States for that matter. It is just gorgeous. Plenty of spaces that we can take the dogs for a walk. We've seen all different kinds of wildlife. We've seen turkeys. We've seen eagles, hawks, deer, squirrels. Lots and lots of squirrels, and they love to tease the dogs. They'll sit up one of the trees and just chatter at them. And there's our closest neighbors. But basically, when we're sitting out here underneath the awning, wow. Nice and quiet, have your coffee in the morning. And the sites here are relatively level. Did not have any trouble getting the trailer leveled up whatsoever. This particular model of Jayco has this convenient plug out here towards the front where we can plug the golf cart charger in, charge it overnight. All the connections very convenient. Although I will say, you will definitely want to bring one of your ladders, your drainage ladders, or whatever they call these things, because it is a climb up to where you connect into the sewer. But that is a very minor thing. One of the things I like to point out about the Jaycos, this one in particular, is all this convenience right here in one spot. You can connect everything here. Relatively short run back here to the power box. Cable connection is here as well, although our cable's been pretty spotty. Like I said, just spectacular. One of the things about camping at Disney is how large this campground really is. And in order to get around the most convenient way possible, you're definitely going to rent a golf cart. This campground is so large it actually has its own internal bus routes to take you to the various points, including the buses to the parks, the marina where you catch the boat over to the Magic Kingdom. So these premium spots are called the Meadows Premium, and the reason why is they're near the Meadows store, also the swimming pool. There's a lot of family areas in this part of the campground as well. So Disney saw an opportunity to charge you a little extra for the convenience of being in the middle of everything. But I will say it's been worth it. I have no complaints about our campsite or its location. On one end of the campground is the settlement, and that's where the
Hope to Do a Musical Review is the restaurant. The counter service restaurant is there as well. There's also the marina is down there, which is pretty much closed right now. You can't rent any boats or anything, but you do catch the boat to the Magic Kingdom from there, and that is the only way to the Magic Kingdom from the campground. You cannot catch a bus. Now at the opposite end of all of this is where the guest parking is, I guess. Also the bus stop that carries you to all the other 3 parks plus Disney Springs. It all comes in at that bus stop at that end, and that's why you kind of need to have this golf cart, because unless you want to have to wait on a bus twice, once to get up to the bus stop from the internal bus routes here at the campground, and then wait on the bus to go somewhere, or just drive to the the parking area for golf carts right at the bus stop. You can rent golf carts right here from Disney, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you'll pay a premium. This particular trip, we rented a golf cart from an off-property company. Cost half as much. The club car is pretty much the same as the club cars that they have here that Disney rents. So I saw an opportunity to save $500 and took advantage of it. The only disadvantage to using a golf cart from off-property is they are not allowed to deliver them onto the property. And cue my visual aid. This is not one from off-property, but the company that you rent from will meet you off-property with a small trailer that has the golf cart on it. And you'll have to bring the golf cart onto the property yourself and then run the trailer back out to them. And do the same thing in reverse. Turn the golf cart back in. You have to go out, get their trailer, bring it back, load the golf cart, run the trailer back out to them, and then you're good to go. Now, as luck would have it, this is our second time camping here, and the second time we've rented from an off-property company. Both times, so far anyway, we have not had to meet the company off-property because there was somebody turning in a golf cart on the day we arrived. Our last trip, same thing. As we were leaving, somebody else was picking up a golf cart that day, so we left it at one of the golf cart parking areas with the key underneath the seat, and then they picked it up later that day. Hopefully, when we leave in a few days, we'll have the same option. We will just be able to leave the golf cart at one of the public golf cart parking areas for the next renter, and then they can just pick it up from there. A lot easier for the company that rents, and a lot easier for the people that are renting if you don't have to go off property to actually pick up the golf cart. One thing else about camping at Fort Wilderness is if you come during the Christmas time, during the holidays I guess you should say, which start before Thanksgiving, I don't know the exact date, and run through the first of the year, people tend to decorate their campsites with lots of inflatables and lights and all kinds of stuff. We don't really have anything yet because we don't own our own camper, we're renting, but once we do, I can absolutely see myself going overboard with this kind of stuff and providing entertainment for people as they drive around. And literally hundreds of sites are decorated like this. You could spend hours at night running around in your golf cart through all the different loops just looking at all of these decorations. It is really a lot of fun if you're into camping. And another nice thing about coming to Disney this time of year is the weather's pretty mild. Last week, the highs were only in the upper 60s. Lows at night were in the low 40s. But this week, lows at night are maybe 60, highs are in the upper 70s, lower 80s, and it is just flipping gorgeous. This is a relatively small loop. I think there's only 30 or 31 sites maybe. So it's nice, but the sites are big. So if you have a bigger rig that you need room for, plus your tow vehicle or vehicle you tow behind your motorhome, you'll have plenty of space. Okay, I guess there's 32 spots. Here's the front of the loop, where the shower house is. bus stop. Bus stop's right there, so I'll use the bus stop. One lesson I learned the hard way on this trip is you kind of want to have some kind of electric leaf blower, maybe, because this time of year, as you can see, there are a lot of leaves on the ground and falling, and all those leaves tend to accumulate above your slides and above your awning. So what I've seen other campers do, and they've been recommending to me, is you get yourself a battery powered leaf blower to keep or to bring with you when you camp, so that before you leave you can blow off all the leaves and stuff that accumulates on the top of your slide outs and your awnings. Howdy. Our trip this time was for 13 nights, and I think that's just about the right amount for us. It allows for a little more relaxed pace. In my younger, more foolish years, we would be in the parks from rope drop till they kick you out at the end of the night. And I'll be honest with you, that just kicks my butt nowadays. So having the trailer here is more like home. It's more restful. It gives you a place to go in the middle of the day where you can go back and relax a little bit. We travel with our 2 little Papillons, so it's also necessary that we come back in the middle of the day to let them out of their crates and take care of their business. But it also forces us to just kind of take a slower pace, relax a little bit. And with having multiple days in the park, you don't have to try to cram everything in on just 1 or 2 days. Thanks for watching part 1 of our 2021 Disney World adventure. Be sure to check out part 2 when we visit the most magical place on earth, Magic Kingdom.